Hey guys, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and I'm excited today to be reviewing this 2021 Jeep Gladiator. This one's a little extra special. It's a Mojave edition, but I want to give a real quick shout out to Lee Summit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Thank you so much for letting us come out to review this vehicle. And if you are in the market for one of those products, you got to come out here and visit Chris and his staff. They would love to help you out and give you a great experience when purchasing one of these vehicles. But let's get right into this Jeep Gladiator. Really excited about this one. All right, guys, as we look at this Jeep Gladiator, let's talk about what is unique to this truck within the segment. If you're looking for a small truck, but you want something a little unique, this may be the ticket. So now when you look at this, you see JL Wrangler right here in the front, but there are some unique things here in the front to the Gladiator. One is the openings on the grille. They're actually a little bit bigger to allow for better airflow. Now, think about the trim levels you can get on a Gladiator. They're a little bit different than the trim levels on a Wrangler. Now, you can start with a Sport, you get a Sport S, you can go to an Overland, right? And then of course there's a Rubicon. Then you have special edition vehicles, and this is one of those, being the Mojave edition, but you also have like North edition, there's a high altitude edition. There's so much you can do and so much you can pick from as far as the options on this vehicle. But now talking about the Gladiator in general, how much Jeep is here? How much small truck is here? How good can it be at both of those things? Maybe you have owned a Jeep and you're wondering, like, how much is this still a Jeep? I know that it's grown, it's got the truck bed back there. Like, how much Jeep stuff can I really do with this? I think you're gonna be really pleasantly surprised. And if you're looking for a small truck, do some light towing, things like that, I think this is really gonna surprise you as well. So when you think about the other trucks in the segment, they're just gonna seem really vanilla compared to this truck here specifically. So you look at it right away, it's just got Jeep stuff going on, right? This one has a 17-inch black wheels up here with the 33-inch mud terrain tires. So this definitely has some really big time off-road prowess that you're not gonna get in a standard small pickup truck. So now I like the way they've done the Mojave really big right here on the hood, lets you know what it is. You've got this unique hood scoop on this Mojave edition here. And you get back here and you're like, it looks so much just like a regular Jeep, and then you've got this nice pickup bed back here as well. So this one here is desert rated. Now, being a Mojave edition, this is kind of built in a way that's for high-speed desert running type stuff. Now, you can still do the off-road stuff that a Wrangler is known for, but this one's been geared up in a way to do that high-speed stuff off-road that is gonna be really, really fun in a vehicle like this. Now, this is a Hydro Blue Pearl. This color's really got me. I really like this color. Looks really nice with this hard top here, and just that color sticks out, and those orange accents that are on this Mojave edition are really cool. Now, for a Gladiator, let's say you just got a Sport or a Sport S, you know, you're still gonna get all the room that comes in here. You're still gonna get the off-road prowess that you expect from a Jeep. You know, you may not get the mud terrain tires, but you can offer up to those big all-terrain tires. But you've got room for 5 in here. You can get an automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual transmission. And obviously, unlike a regular pickup truck, you can take the top off, you can take the doors off, you can put the windshield down. It's so unique in the segment. It almost belongs in its own segment, much like a Jeep Wrangler. So let's continue on down the side of the vehicle and to the back. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on here on the truck end of the deal. All right, guys, now as far as a small truck goes, I really think you're gonna be pleased with what you get here. You do have a 5-foot bed back here, right? This one has the nice cover over the top. You got a really nice bed liner inside. Of course, you got a backup camera back here on the tailgate, but I really like the way they've done things here. It's nice and soft. It all feels smooth. It doesn't feel super clunky. You know, it actually feels like a really nice pickup truck. Now, this is all pickup truck back here, but listen, you've still got Jeep stuff going on here, right? You got these Fox Performance shocks. You still got Dana 44 in the front and rear with the 4:10 ratio. Now, this obviously is gonna give you good room to put stuff. You've got the cover if you need to close it and lock things in here, but also you don't have to use the cover. You can put taller stuff back here, and it's actually a pretty nice level for a loading height of the floor back here. So really impressed with the truck-like features that this Gladiator comes with. Now again, we've carried over those orange accents here to the back that look really unique to this one, but there are other subtle touches on here. Again, you've got LED lights in the back, and you've got actually a cool little blue Mopar logo here on the cover that I think fits the vehicle as a whole really well. Notice here in the back, you've got that hard top, you've got that opening rear window on the back. All these nice things that you would expect to get out of a highly optioned pickup truck of this size and in this segment. So I want to carry ourselves into the interior of this car and talk about the creature comforts inside before we go taking this thing for a spin. All right, guys, we are inside the Jeep Gladiator here, and I have to say that the creature comforts are all over the place in here. This feels really nice, and now with the leather dash and the leather steering wheel and the orange stitching that they've put everywhere, it really breaks up this interior well. So you get in here, and this one has the 8.4-inch screen, the touchscreen up here, which is nice. You're going to get Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but you also have a really nice digital display here up by the gauges as well. But as you come down the center here, you know it's a Jeep. If you're unfamiliar, you know most of your controls are going to be in the middle of the vehicle. So, you know, you've got your window buttons here and your lock for the windows, and you've got all your climate control here as well as your stereo. I love having buttons and knobs. Love having buttons and knobs. If you can blend a really good touchscreen that functions really well like this one, but also have good buttons and knobs that you can just hit, that's always a really good thing. And they've also got you some steering wheel controls up here. And well, obviously you've got Bluetooth and hands-free calling and all of those things. All those buttons are going to be up here. You've got cruise control as well. But I'm actually really liking the automatic shifter in this vehicle. It's really cool. You've got a logo of the Gladiator on the top of the shifter. I like this red button. It's really unique, this shifter. You know you're grabbing it. You know you feel you're putting it in gear. It's none of this, you know, dial shifter stuff or button shifter stuff. It's just, you know, and you feel you're putting it in gear. And I really enjoy that. Now, you've got the shifter here for your four-wheel drive settings as well, and you've got a button down here to lock that rear axle, which is nice. Now, again, you can get the Jeep Gladiator in a manual. So here at Drive It Out, being driving enthusiasts, we really get excited anytime you can still get a manual transmission in something, get a manual handbrake, just kind of gets us excited. So this is one of those vehicles that you can still buy with those features in a world where that's getting harder and harder to find. But it's nice, you can get in here and just really feel like you're in control. Now, they've got actually a really nice center console here that runs back and has features for people in the back too, which we'll look at. But you've got nice storage space in here, and you're gonna have all the things you need to charge your devices. You've got USB and USB-C, and you've got an aux output if you need it, and you have some charging capability in the center as well. Good cup holders. But I love looking out over that Jeep hood. You got that nice hump in the middle where that hood scoop is, and it just lets you know that you're in something unique and in something tough. Now, this has the Freedom top, so you've got actually 3 panels basically. So you can remove just the tops up here, or you can take the whole thing off. It's a really nice top. They've done a really good job with it. And you've also got the sliding rear window in the back for when you're leaving the top on, but you want just a little more airflow. They've really done a good job of compiling a bunch of accessories here in the middle, you know, with only being able to work with the center of the vehicle. Has really nice gauges. This is a highly optioned vehicle. You know, you've got automatic lights, and you've got intermittent wipers, and all of those things you would expect from a modern high trim level pickup. But again, it's a Jeep. You can also just go do Jeep things. I can pop these doors off. I can take the top off, and I can just go. And it can be just what you want it to be. It can be really nice and quiet, and you can put yourself in here and be locked in like you're in a safe, separated from the world and doing your own thing. Or you can open everything up and you can just bomb around. So really impressed with the interior, and the materials are really nice in here. But again, it's a Jeep. It also has that ruggedness to it. And you've got grab handles everywhere, and it's ready for fun. It's ready for anything. So we're going to get this out on the road, but before we do, I want to talk a little bit about what the passenger experience is like inside this Gladiator. So let's take a look in the back seat and look at a little more utility that this vehicle has to offer. All right, guys, I'm here in the back seat of this Jeep Gladiator. Now, I was just in the front seat. I've got this front seat, the driver's seat, adjusted to where I would need it to be if I were the driver. So I know what it would be like to be a passenger behind me. So I'm back here. I've got lots of leg room. I love sitting up high back here and being able to see the world from up here in the back seat of the Jeep. But I tell you what, the creature comforts have made their way back here to the back seat. Now for back passengers, we've got vents here. For the rear, you have lots of power options for charging, and you guys know and expect this from a Jeep. There's lots of utility, but guys who just want a pickup truck, they also expect that utility to be there as well. But if you're riding here in the back, you don't feel left out. This has a premium Alpine audio system in it, and you've got speakers right up here up top. And as a rear passenger, you're going to be able to fully experience and enjoy all of that feature, just like the people in the front. Now, talking about the utility that you have back here, there's really awesome stuff. Of course, now you've got an awesome center console here with cup holders. I really like that, but these seats fold up and they fold down, and they have different uses for each. So first of all, utility-wise, you can fold up the seat and you've got great storage down here. There's a toolkit down here. There's plenty of extra space to store things that you might need to, that are your personal items. But I love what you find when you come back here and you take down the back of the seats as well. You've got, of course, you got your hooks back here for your child safety, but something that is really unique is you actually have a Bluetooth speaker that comes with this car that docks back there. So anytime you get out, you're out in the woods or you're going camping or maybe you're tailgating or something, this is always ready to go here in the vehicle. And it just sits back here and locks right in and charges back here while the car drives. That's something that's unique to this vehicle and really like. So there's so much utility back here that you would expect from a truck and also from a Jeep. And if you're a person here in the back seat, you're not going to feel left out. And you take this top off, have that open air experience back here. It's going to be really fun too. So now let's take this thing for a drive. I want to really see how this thing behaves on the road, and I'm excited to talk to you about that. So let's get going. We are on the road in this Jeep Gladiator, and I gotta say that it's really fun to drive even on the pavement. So again, the creature comforts in here are great. You really feel like you're in something special. But in the end, you're in a Jeep. Now, I will say that it does tend to wander a little bit more than your average vehicle when you're driving, but you stay focused, stay in control, keep your hands on the wheel, you're going to be just fine. It's kind of just part of the flow of this car. Now, going down the road, I have to say that my greatest impression with this vehicle is this automatic transmission. This 8-speed automatic transmission is extremely smooth. I would be interested to drive a Gladiator with the manual transmission, but I gotta say, it's really hard to beat this automatic. You're gonna be able to do everything that you want to do with it, but yet it's so comfortable to live with on a day-to-day basis. So now, sitting up high in this car with the ride that it has, it just makes it a lot of fun. So it almost reminds me of the ride in a little bit in a bigger truck. So the way that you float and the way that you glide when you're going down the road is very similar to that. But you gotta remember the way this one is outfitted. It's good for high-speed stuff. If you want to go off-road or it's a bumpy road, I really don't think you have to worry about the high-speed stuff, because it's built to handle it. So I really am liking the way that this thing goes down the road. Now, this thing is powered by Pentastar V6. It's a 3.6 liter. You can also get a diesel with the Gladiator, but this gasoline V6 in here has 285 horsepower, and it really handles itself well. You know, for a small truck, I feel like that's plenty of power, and it's all about how it puts it to the ground and how it feels, you know, when you start loading things in here. Now, again, this pedal is really responsive, this transmission's really responsive, but it's also really smooth. It's almost like the transmission is meant for something else with a little bit sportier ride. Like, that's fine, that's not a knock on it. I'm just saying I'm really impressed with how smooth that it is and how well that it drives. All right, we're gonna get on the highway in this thing and see how this thing cruises down the highway. Now, we know how this thing is gonna operate off-road. Its capabilities are really high. But what about living with this thing day to day as a truck? You know, what about cruising down the highway? What about pulling something, you know? I've got to say that it settles in really well once you get in your line. You know, sometimes when obviously this has mud terrain tires on it, they're a little noisy. That's all part of the experience. But when you change lanes, you kind of feel it wanting to wander a little bit, you know. It's got a nice steering rack, there's nothing wrong with it, but you know, you're on those big cushy tires. But as long as you've got your hands on the wheel, there's nothing that's going to take away confidence in the driving experience in here. It's just a little bit different than your average truck, and that comes from those off-road capabilities. So every once in a while, you drive a vehicle that you got to say it's so unique, it almost takes up its own space, and that's what this vehicle is for me. It's every bit of a Jeep that I would ever want out of a Jeep, but it's also every bit of a truck that I would ever need out of a small pickup truck. So the way that they blended those worlds in this vehicle is really cool, and something that I think is actually really special. So again, if you're looking for something to do everyday duty, truck duty, I really think you can do it in this with no problem. The way that this car behaves, the way that it is to drive down the road and live with day to day, everything that you have in here, especially with how optioned out this one is, I think you're going to be really happy with this vehicle day to day. But if you want to go off-road, you want to get off the beaten path, this is your thing. Now, Jeep owners, they are known to kind of live life to the beat of their own drum. And if you're looking for a small pickup truck, getting one of these is kind of doing that. It's going to the beat of your own drum. And I think that it's okay, because you're not really sacrificing anything that you think maybe you are by getting the truck version of a Jeep. This is ready to rock and roll off-road, and it's also ready to do all the utility type things that you want out of a truck. So I'm really impressed with this. I like the way it feels to be in this car. It's got great gauges, it's got good screens, it's got good infotainment, and everything laid out in here really, really well. It's really geared to be something that's fun, go anywhere, do anything, and in kind of a special way that your typical truck isn't going to have to offer. So again, I want to say thanks to Lee Summit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. They let us come out here and they let us review this Jeep. It was really awesome. If you are looking for something like this, come visit these guys. Chris and the sales staff over here will treat you right. We're in the Kansas City area, so we're in the center of the country. You never have to travel cross country to get to Kansas City. This is a great place to come. If you're looking for something specific, they're going to help you find it. So thank you so much for joining us again here on Drive It Out. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.